Hello everyone and welcome to SpartanGaming Plays The House of Tesla. Finally, a new game by the makers of The House of Da Vinci, which I played recently. I said recently, but it's more like a year or two ago. So, this game came out not too long ago. It's a good game. It outstays its welcome in some areas and confuses and frustrates me in others, which is what I like about a puzzle game. So before we begin, shall we check the options? They're quite sparse, bare bones. If you've played The House of Da Vinci, you know these types of games where you walk into a screen and then you can move around, but you can't physically move around. You're just a floating head, which is kind of weird, but it gets it done. You can play. You can use a controller for this game. It's really doesn't seem like you'd benefit using a controller at all. It's weird. It confuses me why you'd want to do that. As I say, nothing really. Let me. Should be fine. Audio mixing is a pain in the arse when you record them. Everything else. This is the only graphics you get. You can change the UI scale if you wanted to. This is the first time I'm recording 1440 as well, by the way. I'm recording on a completely new setup from my last videos. So hopefully if this goes bad, then you will never heard this. But yeah, hopefully it looks good. So, shall we just begin, shall we? That's one hell of a stag do. Completely out of it. There, that's definitely how I'd wake up after a night on a bender. Under rubble. In Nikola Tesla's lab. I mean, we've all been there, right? Come on, video game. What? Where am I? What happened? I don't remember anything at all. Never do I, mate. We don't need to worry about the story. The thing is, right, if you've played this game before, you can't skip the tutorials. You have to be subjected to this every time you start a new game. Then they did it in Da Vinci as well, but that one didn't outstay its welcome like this one does. Yeah. So, I shouldn't really be skipping those, should I? But basically, this is how you play the game. You walk into a scene. I'd say this would be, to me, this is how I would, this is how I would represent, well, what am I trying to say? This is how I would say what this game is. You walk into a scene, and then you look around, you look for stuff to use, and then, yeah, you move on to the next one. It's not difficult. It can get quite frustrating in some parts of this game. Valve handle, drag and drop. It's basically just common knowledge. It's basically idiot-proof, this game is. Huh, I think there's a massive door the only way out of this room. I see a completely fine window right there, dude. I'd go out the window. Why would I go through all the trouble open this weird big-ass door when I could just dive through the window? Like an action hero. Click the notebook to open it. Let me just go through all this tutorial nonsense. Okay, so the notebook. This is basically a world map. You start here in the office or this factory to the train, and then you head to this building. Then you head to 𝘕𝘓𝘓 Tower, which looks like a giant dick, which is hilarious. And then you head to a house. So is there 6 chapters in this? 1, 2, including the prologue, which is what I'm doing now. I think there's about 6. Each area has collectibles you can pick up. This will give you a hint on where they are. Collectibles also end up in here. Again, another hint here. I should look at the newspaper on the table next to the large window. The documents are found in my personal office. I place in the factory where I could always find a relative quiet corner for my experiments and for day-to-day activities related to running 𝘕𝘓𝘓𝘓. Yeah, there's certain things about this game that I don't really like. His voice, for a start, it throws me. I think Nikola Tesla, and the voice you hear is not the voice I would picture him having. So I don't know. I don't know anything about what Tesla sounds like, but Yeah, it kind of froze me. What else is there? There's his personal diary, which I won't be reading this, FYI. He writes way too much in this game. Like, everything that he speaks about, he could... I don't know why they hired somebody to voice act, and then they didn't get him to voice act these parts as well. It's weird. These normally are just background information, or his inner thoughts, basically. Sometimes they help you in some of the puzzles. Sometimes they're just nonsense, like now. I mean, it's not nonsense, is it? It's story. But yeah, if it doesn't help in forwarding the videos, then I won't read them. Nobody wants to hear me speaking a load of bollocks. I don't have the most interesting radio voice. I was told that my voice is very monotone. I don't have any it's just how I am. I'm broken, fundamentally broken, as we all are. This is what you need. Tutorial. Like I said, if you played the the House of Da Vinci, this is exactly the same. It's the same system, just with different doodads. Newspaper article. This title for this newspaper is really, it throws me. Tesla's flashes startling. Tesla's flashes startling. But who wrote that? And why are they writing for a newspaper when they can't? That headline would just make me want to burn that paper and probably burn the person who thought that sounded good. Isn't this supposed to catch your attention? This makes it sound like it was written by a 2-year-old. Look has been captivated by nightly displays of lightning-like electrical discharges from Tesla's experimental tower. Yeah. Wardenclyffe. Just dropping coffee everywhere. So, if you've played the demo for this game, which came out recently, the demo did. It came out a few days before the release, from what I remember. The demo is this area, and then when you go out the doors, the demo ends, and then the main game begins. So, if you want to try this game, download the demo. It's like, if you're watching this, then there's no reason to, because I'm just going to ruin everything. But yeah, I played this demo before I brought the game, and I got stuck on this part because what this game fails to do half the time is make it obvious on what you can interact with. For me personally, like I got here and I used the key, as you do. Got the big weird stick. And then I know that you need to move these down to open these. And you need another one. And you don't have it. Let me pick up that. Oh, I'll look at that in a minute. What I didn't realize is, right, I looked around this for like 10 minutes. I was like, I'm stuck. How am I stuck? Like, the stick goes in here. Which you find out, obviously, it's a vice. So we'll do that. We'll pick up this weird coiled wired rod. And then I was like, I need to get in this safe. Because you can move this wheel and stuff. And this obviously is something to do with it. So, so if you didn't realize, the little plus icon means that you can join it with another item. It did say in the tutorial, but I completely skipped it. So I'm a bastard like that. So yeah, I was looking around and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, it's obviously something simple because they won't make this puzzle, well, they won't make the next part of the game just stupid to find. And I didn't realize that you could click on the stupid desk here. I mean, it's obvious now I'm looking at it. It's this like weird, like an appearance. It means that it's movable. Yeah, and I was like, how am I stuck? Yeah, this game has a lot of those situations where I will just be completely confused about what to do. Easy. Yeah, like it doesn't make it obvious in some areas. Oh, here we go. An object marked with a plus symbol has a second part you need to find and add to complete it. Maybe the game didn't tell you that. I satisfying, isn't it? That noise. It's very satisfying. But yeah, there's certain parts in this game where I was super confused. Like, they don't make it obvious sometimes on what you can interact with. I read a lot of the negative things about this game is it's confusing on what to do, and some of the puzzles are just really shite. But you know, puzzles are subjective really to the person who's playing the game, isn't it? Some people like certain puzzles, like tile puzzles, and you know, and some people detest them. Yeah, you can't cater to everyone, unfortunately, in a video game, especially when it comes to puzzles. But yeah, there's certain puzzles in this game where I will point out that I really hate, and yeah, my first playthrough of this game, it took 18 hours. I'd say about 18 hours, and I'd say about 6 or 7 of those hours was me fanning around looking for what to do or being stuck on a puzzle, and I'm trying to brute force my way through it, which was quite funny. Oh, there it goes here. Receiver goes in here. I'm trying to just get past this tutorial nice and quick. What an awful way to open a safe. Left click the strange aura to examine it. Probably shouldn't do that. So he wrote, with a feat of wireless electricity, I was able to remove the flicker of charge in an old battery on the table. This is basically what I'm doing. So the book, basically, it jots down everything that you do. It's like, do I have amnesia? How long was I out for? You just drunk too much, dude. That's all. If I click on each time you pick up something, it goes here. So that is the newspaper. I should look at the safe next to the door, which is where I am now. My thoughts on Project Wild Wireless. In the past, great inventors have some kind of focus. Yeah, so Tesla's big thing was he wants to make electricity free for everyone. And he wants to make it wireless. Which, you know, free electricity sounds amazing, but, you know, as humans, we are fundamentally flawed in the fact that if we are given something that's for free, we would exploit it to the point where it will kill us all, because that's what we do. So yeah, Tesla had a really noble goal, but he was naive in thinking that humans weren't stupid enough to misuse it. So this is another thing that I dislike about this game, is the fact that there is no cutscenes. Well, there's no animated cutscenes, shall we say. I mean, this isn't a cutscene. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but this is basically a flashback. You click on this. This happens. You shatter the universe, and you go to a flashback.
Sunday, June 7th, 1903. I conducted one of the most important experiments in modern science. But what made it so revolutionary?
Anyway, yeah. So you get these, and you have to pick the right word. It's not. You can't fail it.
Independence was the groundbreaking benefit. All one needed was a single device that a person could carry on themselves. No more depending on awkward infrastructure. I just had a few final tweaks to make before I could test my new method of wireless power transfer.
That's a very space age looking device, isn't it? Looks dangerous. Remote space wireless power transmitter. Unfinished prototype. I like these little these like plans. These are quite cool. When you look at patterns for weird, like if you go to a patent office and you look at a patent for like stuff from the 1800s, they're always in these types of diagrams, and you know, they're like completely obscene. You think this person must have been absolutely smashed off his tits to design something like this. You know, it is quite funny. Because this basically moves electricity around. It's dangerous. Like, it's very dangerous.
The entire world was on its way to efficient and affordable electrification. Once initialized, the device was simple to operate. All I had to do was point at the object I wanted to take power from, press a button, and point at the object that will consume it. Eureka!
So that's your MacGuffin, basically. What happened? Was that part of my memory? An hallucination? Or something else entirely? I need to know more, but first, I need to get out of here. We'll take the prototype. And the game's not letting me... The prototype seems to be in working order. I could try using it to get out of this room. We don't need to know that. I'll show you. I'll talk about this in a minute. Hold on. I need to get rid of the stupid tutorial because it's annoying. There we go. I'm going to pick up this. So, the prototype. When you click on it, you get these. So, this little conduit is you can only stand in these areas to use this machine. And when you go into the area, you can't move around. You're kind of stuck on this fake screen. You can drag and what would these be? The currents? Basically, yeah. You just drag them to the nodes and you turn your stuff on. It's a simple puzzle. It's a cool looking it's what was it in Da Vinci? It was your lens, wasn't it? And then in number 2 and 3 it was that the ball thing. It's kind of like that, but yeah. Some puzzles are centered around needing electricity, and you need to find these nodes to stand in to turn them on. Unfortunately, this device itself is forgotten about in the later game completely. It's usable in maybe the first 2 chapters, and after that, it's very like you may use it once or twice, and it's just like, and then it's gone. There's obviously a reason why. Maybe they just run out of ideas on how to use it. But... So the prototype remote space wireless power transmitter. Bloody hell. So this basically is him using it and then finding out that he needs to be in a specific place. Maybe I could find out why I could use it in one spot. It could be actually useful. Yeah. Again, it's text that I don't need to read because it doesn't really need to be read. Again, I would like it if these were voiced instead of having me read them. Like later on in the game, I got to the point where I just couldn't be bothered to read any of his journal entries because I couldn't be bothered to read. I guess that's me being a lazy git, but you know what I mean? Like, he does write a lot, like almost too much. And yeah, there's. I guess if you've not played the game, you took a break and you come back and you're like, what the hell was it doing? I guess you could read these journal entries and jog your memory, but don't necessarily need to. I remember this puzzle itself was something that everyone hated in the demo, which is quite funny. It's really difficult if you don't understand the logic in it. So you can move the switches up and down. You move this wherever this is on, it stops it from moving. And then you got to make them look like this. It's not difficult. It's very frustrating. Because, like I said, with this puzzle, there's a logic to it that if you don't understand, then you'll just be here for like 40 minutes, ripping your face off because you're really annoyed. It's quite funny because this is when you do this puzzle, the demo ends, and the end of it, you're like, oh, thank God for that. It's instead of wanting to push forward, you just want to turn it off and be done with it. So yeah, they kind of shot themselves in the foot. But yeah, from what I remember. Let's see if I can do this. It's that one. It's that. It's annoying because you can't have this on the screen. You have to keep moving your stupid camera left and right because you can't grab the lever if you can't see it. And it's not that one. It's that one. Under and over. Now I think if I do this correctly, you need to move these two so this one is correct. So what I mean by that is if you go, so it's over and down. Okay. Like this. Not that way. That way. See, look, that. It's not difficult. It's just finding the It's not being overwhelmed with certain aspects of it. There's certain puzzles in this game that have that. It looks so complicated and overwhelming that it's just frustrating to do. But there's always a simple solution to it, and it's just finding that solution. If you looked in the top left when I was doing that, there was a question mark. That's basically your hint system. So, as of right now, there's only been one update for this game, and that is to force the hints to load up faster. Because you have to wait like a minute or two for the hint to... I think you normally get 3 hints. And every time you use one, you have to wait for it to charge up. And it's really frustrating because you just want to be done with a puzzle. You don't want to have to spend like 5 minutes waiting for the game to tell you that you can use another hint. But yeah, there's... I think... Yeah, so this is the end of the demo now. So click for this. And then the demo ends there. And then the main game begins straight after. Tesla's factory upper floors. So we're still on chapter 1. Like, see, it's weird because his office doesn't count as chapter 1. I would say the prologue, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. But I think it counts as 1 and then 6 is the bottom. Oh God. Yeah, this is. The door opened. I walked onto the catwalk to the main factory building. But yeah, again, it's just I don't want to read them. I do apologize, but I mean, if you really want to, then I mean, I would recommend buying this game. It's a fun game. It's very fun. So, because we're in the next chapter, say, it unlocks these 3. Learn more about the 𝘕𝘕𝘴 facility. Check the bottles carefully. Use the elevator to move to the main floor. And each one unlocks like an in-game achievement, say. You also get see all flashbacks and their variants. From what I remember, the variants are picking the wrong answer. From when he was sitting at a desk and he had to pick one of the choices on the left-hand side of the screen. I think you have to pick all the wrong ones before the right one. I clicked every document available, and these are nothing that I really care too much to do, but yeah. So before we begin in this chapter, we'll pause. I kind of want to do the videos in chapters so they're easy to watch. So basically, this is just a prologue, and then chapter 2 or 1, should we say, which is what I'd call it, is the factory. But yeah, I got stuck when I first played this part, so I'll speak about that in the next video. So yeah. Hopefully you've enjoyed me rambling on, as per usual. I will see you in the next one, peeps. So thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day. Bye for now.